what has happened in Ghana, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. Firstly, I would want to say we condemn the act with the strongest language possible on all acceptable media. I will not curse. If I could curse, I would swear and use vulgarity to denounce what is happening in Ghana. But for the purposes of Kuth, and for the purposes of being civilized, let me speak in a more lateral language and say, on behalf of AIM, on behalf of the Soshenwu dynasty, on behalf of UKA, United Kingdoms of Africa, on behalf of Farmers of Thought, we condemn with the strongest language possible the inauguration, the recognition of a Chinaman as a chief on the African ground. The Chinese people, in terms of their business, their ethics, their religion, and morality, don't recognize Africans as human beings. And I suggest that whoever was responsible for this royal misconduct be brought to book. I want to appeal to the Nigerian government and the Ghanaian government. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian House of Chiefs. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian House of Kings. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian indigenous governance systems. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian rural and community and civil rights organization. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian Christian community. I want to appeal to the Ghanaian societal organizations in all their function, that they should not sit to be watching a Chinese man being recognized in the African continent when the Chinese people don't respect the Africans in all its honesty. What has happened in Ghana is an insult to the Africans. It's an insult to us, our Kebla. It's an insult of the highest order. And I wish I could look into the face of the Ghanaian president and say to him, in as much as you've been elected as the president of ECOWAS, shame, shame, shame on you as a president of an African country, and such wrong, horrible, nasty, filthy, dirty, disgusting events are happening under the nostrils of your own jurisdiction. Shame on you. I spit on the grave of the mothers of the chiefs and the kings. I spit on the graves of the young men, black men who are carrying this filthy little organization, filthy little Chinamen on their shoulders to inaugurate them, even recognizing of having judicial, indigenous governance on the African continent. I'm ashamed to be associated with such disgusting behavior on the African continent. We condemn this with the strongest language. And whichever chief recognizes this, I am coming to Ghana. We need that chief and all his subordinates stripped of their royalties with all the disgust that it takes. They must be removed from being chiefs to becoming common people. There is no ways on the African continent that we can tolerate such amount of mischief and royal misconduct of this nature. We know that this is a financial, that this chief has been bought. We know that these kings who are involved in these activities have been bribed. And personally representing all the 5 organizations that I stand on, I condemn this with the strongest language possible. And I want to make sure this video reaches the Ghanaian president before the morning. After the conversation, please cut it and send it to him personally on his own email and tell him that we are ashamed that in this day and age, we can have a misuse of power in our indigenous governance systems when royalties that are bribed and are non-African are recognizing Chinese in this fashion. I must apologize. I'm infuriated. I am disgusted. I am not happy. You have not seen me this angry. ever since we started doing shows. But I cannot express it louder than this. I am totally out of my wits. I saw this happening in Zambia. Now it's happening in Ghana. And we know that these fake royalties that were bribed by the British and recognized as royalties, they don't have the blood and the dignity of the offices that they claim to be. I challenge all the royal houses in Ghana to look into the face of this man who has recognized this man as a chief and tell me if this man is the bloodline of a king. To hell with him. Shame upon him and his wife and his children. Shame on him and his kingdom. He's not a leader.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And we equally, I mean, the whole African community worldwide is pissed. We are pissed from the bottom of our heart, because images like this are images that we saw during the colonial period when Leopold came. They took Africans into slavery, and they were forced to carry white people on the head in the afternoons. They were forced at a gunpoint to do that. And at the 21st century, when we are talking and we are uniting to build the Africa that we want, that one of the central points where they took our forefathers is Ghana. One of the central key points in West Africa, when we talk about Kwame Nkrumah, when we talk about Marcus Garvey, when we talk about all these voices of Pan-Africanism, we see Ghana. When we talk about even the repatriation and the reparations going back, we see the golden gate of no return. We think about Ghana. How can Ghana of all? I mean, we're talking about Ghana. We're talking here about Ghana, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about a French colonized Africa. We're talking about Ghana. We're talking about Ghana. How can Ghana back us on like this? It is unacceptable. And we are going to fight it with the last drop of every African and our children in this century. So it's exactly the reason why, I mean, we begin to ask questions. ECOWAS make you a chairman, and automatically the Chinese have been carried. Why would you see that happen in China, people? That a Chinese man would lift up a black, an African in China. So we are gone. We are gone, people.